This is how I finally got rid of my belly fat and developed, well, visible abs. Now, I want to be clear, at no point in time should you believe that I have good genetics. I really don't, bro. For a long time,
Good morning.
I wanted a body like superheroes and anime characters. But of course, I was never able to achieve it. That's the truth. I'm pretty fat right now. I look terrible for most of my life. Here are some pictures to give you proof that I'm not another guy spitting out, words from his ass.
What the hell is his problem?
Yeah, proof. By default, I'm skinny fat. I store a good chunk of my fat on my stomach and face. I also have a very slow metabolism. This is how I look now. Big difference. I've tried virtually every diet under the sun, keto, if it fits your macros. I was even a vegetarian. Like, what the hell? Nothing ever stick though. Like, here's the deal. Right now, I don't count calories. I don't eat chicken, rice, and broccoli. I don't follow any particular diet. I only follow a few principles when it comes to eating. And it has worked wonders and beautifully for me. Because I only follow a few principles, everything is easy to stick to. And that's why I want to stress in this goddamn video. Do what works for you. It'll take a lot of trials and errors, but do what makes it easy for you to be consistent. You can literally get abs on any diet, but whether you'll be able to keep them boils down to how easy the diet is to follow and how long you can do it for, right? It's all a factor of time. Part 1. Breaking your limiting beliefs. Before we actually go over the principles, let's debunk some myth you might have about getting abs. Number 1. Training abs won't make them visible. It only adds thickness to your midsection. It's only when you drop body fat and go into a caloric deficit that your abs will become visible. If this was the case for me, you might think I'm contradicting myself because I train abs now. But thing is, bro, I train abs now because I'm doing calisthenics. And I need core strength for a lot of the skills. And get this, even though I barely trained them, I still had abs. Number 2. Every diet works. I'll say it now, there's no magic diet. Every single diet that gets you lean simply puts you at a caloric deficit long enough for you to lose all the weight needed to see your abs. Some are easier to follow than others. Yes, that's true. But it all boils down to what makes it easy for you to stick to. I'll tell you what has worked for me in this video, so
Excuse me!
hang on tight. Number 3, once you get abs, it's hard to lose them. In one of my popular videos, I had a comment saying, getting lean is easy, but staying lean is hard. That's true and false at the same time. Leaning down is easy if you're committed. Once you're lean, if you hate the diet and it's something you can't continue, that's when you start to lose your progress. Remember, getting lean and chisel takes goddamn months. Getting fat and flabby is pretty much the same process. You make choices stacks on each other, and over time, well, you get the result of your actions all stacked upon each other. Don't believe it's hard to stay lean. Simply get lean on a diet that's easy to stick to. Part 2. The diet. I know you've been wondering, what the fuck do I eat? What's the diet? What's the diet? I want to get lean. I got you. Simply put, the diet that has worked for me is low carb, high fat, high protein.
What's the name of it?
There isn't a specific name for it. This is just what I do. It's very similar to slow carbs if you've read The 4-Hour Body by Tim Ferriss, but won't go into it too much. Just know now, it's not keto or carnivore.
Wild and primal and fucking free.
I don't need to count calories. I still indulge in carbs every now and then. I'd say for 6 days of the week, I'm strict. And for one day, I treat myself to something that I'm craving. Sometimes, that's donuts. Other times, it's fried chicken. I can never stuff myself to the point of losing all progress though. That's something you learn about once you actually get lean. You find that you make better food choices the leaner you become, so you know where your limits are. The one day of semi-freedom with food keeps me from going insane and allow me to push through the 6 days of restriction. Here are the principles that I follow on the 6 days that I'm strict with the diet. Number 1. No processed sugar in any of my meals. Number 2. Cook everything in butter whenever I can. Number 3. I can eat as much protein as I want. I eat 3 meals a day and generally about 50 grams of protein with each of them. If I want some vegetable or fruit, I'll have some in my third meal, which is later during the day. But Part 3. My secret to not binge eat. I would say I have a very obsessive and compulsive personality. I'm like a 100% all-in type of guy, or I'll have 0 of whatever that activity is. There's no balance for me. When it comes to dieting, if I let myself go with a poor food choice on the strict days, which is 6 days of the week, I find myself stuffing myself until my stomach hurts and then feeling guilty about it.
What the fuck happened?
And of course, kind of know by now, right? Like once you start feeling guilty, it's like a downward spiral. If you happen to be like that, here's what I recommend. Number 1, intermittent fasting. Eat all your meals within a 6 to 8 hour time window.
What?
Outside of that window, do not snack or put anything with calories in your goddamn mouth. What you don't realize is once you eat a small snack, you start to get a lot more craving if you simply just didn't put anything in your mouth. Of course, over time, this trains your eating habit and let you stay in a fat-burning state of the body much longer than you normally would if you were to, stuffing stuff in your mouth every single few hours. Yeah. Number 2, don't view fat as a devil or a sin. Contrary to popular belief, if you see bodybuilder binge eating, it's because they don't get enough fat within their high carb, high protein, and low fat diet. Simple reasoning. Fat do 2 things for you. Fat helps you regulate your hormones, and it also suppresses your appetite. What I find to be true is whenever I fail a diet, it's not because the diet doesn't work, right? It's because I'm lazy and my appetite happens to be very high on the goddamn diet. So, I tend to eat more than I need to lose weight on these diets. This is where butter will become your best friend. It'll help you make meals that are cooked on a stove taste a lot better and feel more satiating. Fat in general, doesn't matter if it's from butter or anything, it's gonna help you control your appetite a lot better. I recommend butter because it's literally what I use. But Part 4. Exercise. With dieting out of the way, I recommend you exercise too and put on some muscle mass. The more muscle mass you have, the more calories you burn at rest. This means the leaner and bigger you become, the easier it is for you to stay lean and big. Now, here's my personal recommendation. I recommend you train 3 days a week starting out. Then as you get more advanced and crazy and obsessed, train 6 days a week. I know here is if you're training fasted, don't expect to put on serious weight with your lifting session, and that's fine. Quality reps and volume will give you a lot of muscle mass over time, and you get used to training fasted too. So it's gonna take some time to getting used to training fasted, but it all evens out in the long run. Alright, Part 5. Cardio. I should be serious though, okay? Cardio is not what you think it is. Like, you're not gonna be on a bike 24/7. You don't have to do anything crazy. I don't do any crazy cardio. I don't run, I don't swim. I just walk. I aim to hit about 10,000 steps a day, sometimes less, just a little, and then sometimes a lot more, depending, on how far I walk or how long I walk or how enjoyable the walk is. I find that trying to hit 10,000 steps a day on top of the things that I recommended gave me abs in no time. And that's pretty much all I do. Easy? Hell no. Simple? Yes. It's very simple. But because it's not easy, I always tell myself,
this is what hard feels like, and this is why most people can't do it.
I am where I am because I keep going where people stop. So, see you next time.